Hey guys, Matt Fish here with a brand new video for you. So I wanted to talk about something called the Zig-Zag diet, or zigzagging your calories. It's also known as having high and low days. It's a nutritional strategy. It's a little bit advanced, and again, you don't need it for success, but some people really like it. The first time I heard about this was from Dr. Squat, Fred Hatfield, a guy who set the world record in the squat, I think a couple times. So it wasn't just some guy who wrote these articles that I read, but it was a guy who was literally the strongest man in the world for a period of time in the squat. So, what he says, I think, we should listen carefully to it. And basically what he said was, if you're just dieting and lowering your calories, you might lose weight, but the concern is you're losing a lot of muscle mass. So again, you may have a guy or girl 200 pounds and 20% body fat, and they're dieting, and they end up 180 pounds but 21% body fat because they lost a lot of lean muscle tissue and not body fat. And basically what I say, the goal is not to lose weight. The goal is to lose body fat, which I think most of us would agree with. So here's the basic idea. Some days you have higher calorie days, other days you have lower calorie days. And what you're doing is, because you're not having low, your metabolism should always be running hot. So when we have these higher calorie days, we're not going to the buffet and binging and having, a 10,000 calorie day. We're just raising it by a little bit. So maybe on my low days, I'm having 2,500 calories a day. On my high days, I'm having 3,200, 3,300, around maintenance level. But the key thing here is we're always being active. A high day doesn't mean, a lot of food, sit on the couch, okay? And a low day doesn't mean starvation. We're keeping it in an acceptable range and bouncing back and forth to meet our needs. To take this a little bit farther, on the high days, you get a weight training workout in, because the extra food you take could go to building lean muscle tissue. And on the low days, do some cardio. You wake up on a low day and it's like, my goal is to burn as much fat today as possible. So you're as active as possible, you're keeping your calories lower, and you're creating that caloric deficit that you need to burn body fat. So this is not the fastest way to lose body fat, because the high days, your calories are going to be a little bit higher. But as far as a long-term approach, the high days make the diet bearable, and you will have sustained fat loss, where a lot of people, when they just diet and they drop their calories, their metabolism drops and they hit a plateau, and then they start starving themselves. This is a horrible thing. And I before I learned about this stuff, I was there, where I'm like, I'm not losing body fat, I better drop my calories even lower, and it became like a starvation type thing. So when you're having the higher days, your metabolism is running hot, you're feeling well fed and fully energized, and you can make great progress. So how does this look? There's a million combinations you can use. It's entirely up to you. You could have 3 high days where you're doing a lot of lifting and maybe some light cardio on the side, 3 low days where you're incline walking, you're sprinting, you're doing all this stuff. And then you could vary it: high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, a million combinations. If you're one of those people that on the weekend you need to have a little more food, that psychological thing, it could be Sunday through Thursday low, Friday, Saturday high. And again, you're not looking to binge on those days and destroy your diet, but Friday night, having a nice meal. There's a barbecue place I like, a Portuguese place, a grilled chicken with some rice and some beans. It's a good meal, a little bit higher calorie, but it's satisfying to end the week like that. So this is a very flexible diet plan you can use. Now again, do you have to use this? Absolutely not. But if you're lifting weights while you're also doing lots of cardio, it can be not a diet, but we call it recomp, where you're actually adding muscle and losing fat. So you may start off 180 pounds. 2 months later, you may be 180 pounds, but you've gained 5 pounds of muscle and lost 5 pounds of fat. So you can't really go by the scale, because that can be very deceiving. But this is something I personally like to do. I usually do a high day, low day. I'm not really scientific. I don't count calories. I just try and eat sensibly. But this is a very flexible approach that you might like. So I thought I'd offer it to you, and feel free to experiment. Let me know how it goes. Okay, guys, take care.